So
Okie
we're
dokie.
live. We'll just post on the socials, wait for it to show up. Hello, everybody, if you're joining us. We'll get this party started in 2 seconds. But yeah, it's a cool
Yep,
little.
yep, yep.
It came with one of the Avengers compound sets I have.
Thank you. That's pretty sweet.
Read it.
But what does
We're
it
on.
say?
Oh, Brielle, harsh. I asked for an Iron Man toy, and she brought me the. Is this a zombie Iron Man?
No.
Oh, it just has the things on his face. But Brielle gave it to me with a note that said dead.
Oof. You know what's awesome is the fact.
Wait. Harsh. Get out of here. Thank you. I love you. Good night. What's awesome?
The fact that they have zombie Captain America at Disneyland.
Do they really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
For Oogie Boogie Nights or whatever it is.
Ah.
So
Oh, because they do a whole Halloween thing at
yeah.
California Adventure.
Yep.
Nice.
So if you're
All
joining
right,
us,
we are
we're
on.
about to get started. We are live everywhere, so give us just a couple of seconds to do everything, and we will kick this off.
Yep, we are up on the Twitter. We are up on the.
We're on Facebook,
And yep,
Twitter,
we're up on
and
Facebook.
YouTube.
We are ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, and if you want to be part of the conversation, your best bet is Facebook. That's definitely the one we check the most. But we already got a couple people on there. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
So while you're still
everybody.
figuring things out, I'll go ahead and talk about my beer.
Well,
So
hold on,
last
not yet,
week,
'cause I gotta do
I
the
was.
intro. Wait. Okay, I'm
Oh,
ready.
okay.
So, all right. Welcome back, everybody, to another great news of. This is Hops Geek News. It says Hops News, but really, this is just Hops Geek News at the moment, which is a podcast where we talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, and more. We are running the live circuit the last couple of weeks, so that's what we are doing right now. Today, we have a really great episode. We're going to talk about the Disney 23 Expo, D23 Expo that just went down last weekend, where we have a ton of news, a ton of things
We
to
got beer
discuss
news
today.
too.
We have some beer news if we can make it that far throughout all of the news that we have currently on our list. Aside from that, next week, a week from tonight, if you're watching this live, or September 22nd through the 24th, Lauren and I are actually meeting up in Utah, Salt Lake City to be exact, for our press run at FanX Comic Con. So maybe we'll talk about some guests we're hoping to talk to, kind of some things we're looking forward to there again. Just really get hyped. So if you're going to be heading there, by all means, come find us. We have a lot of stickers, a lot of merch to give away, a lot of cool things. Speaking of, I got our shirts in, so those should be on their way to people now. By this time, you should hopefully have it. If not, then Lauren probably knows you and is going to hand deliver those. So, yeah, I'm
A couple will
excited.
be hand delivered after I visit Utah.
Yes. So, first things first, though, if you are new, please go to Hops News on all of your podcasting platforms. Subscribe to us. That's where we are at. Go to Hops Geek News on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those. That's where we are at as well. Those are our social media sites. Go, if you feel so inclined, patreon.com/hopsgeeknews or patreon.com/hopsnews. You kind of get some different things. The boxes should be going out here soon for Hops News. Brad and Common Law Brewing have put together a really great box, and those should be on their way out here soon. So that said, my beer this week is Lost Grove Brewing out of Boise, Idaho's Robot Grizzly. It's a hazy IPA, and it is with Strata, Nelson, and Pacific Sunrise hops, which is something that I haven't really seen before with those kind of hops. And it's 5.8% ABV. You can go ahead and it's part of their artist series, which is really cool. You can scan the QR code in the back and meet the artist for this can, which is Miguel Angel and Almeida. Or that's his whole name, not and. That's his whole name. So that's the can art right there if you want to be so inclined. And I'm drinking it out of my my Pim Labs glass that I got from Disneyland. This thing is a beaker that you can just put stuff in. So that's pretty cool.
That's so sweet.
What are you drinking?
All right. Well, last week I talked about my mom being selfish because she left Sarasota. Well, my stepdad did deliver. I got Calusa, so he brought me
Oh,
back a bunch of Calusa. So this one is Happy Colors. It's one of my favorites of theirs. It's a double New England, and I picked Happy Colors because we did within the last week record our first Patreon only exclusive, which we started our MC. Oh my God! Sorry,
was that thunder?
thunder just came out of nowhere.
Wow, that was crazy.
So you heard it too? Okay, good.
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
heard
less
that
of a
though.
little
Man,
bitch
how
for
could you
jumping
not? That
like
was
that.
crazy.
I was like right outside the window. So
Kaboom!
we started our MCU rewatch, and of course, Happy was one of the. I haven't sat down and watched that movie from beginning to end in a while, and Happy was one of the characters. I was like, wow, he just looks like a baby in this. So it was a lot of fun getting to rewatch it. We did research some random fun facts while we were watching it, and Matt gave all sorts of military fun facts about how inaccurate the movie is as far as Rhodey's
Yes.
relationship with Iron Man. So that was a lot of fun. I am very much so looking forward to when we do the next one because it's Hulk. And with all these
Oh, that
Hulk
movie's
characters
so
actually
good.
coming back, it's getting to be a lot of fun. So that's what
I'm
I'm drinking.
sorry.
Happy
That's a good
Colors,
movie.
Double New England, 6.8%. If you're ever in Sarasota and you like beer, you must stop at Calusa Brewing.
Yeah,
And
Calusa
that's
is
what I'm drinking.
delicious. Every Calusa that you've sent me has been fantastic. And so I'm excited. I know you are bringing only a carry-on to Salt Lake, but I have a couple things I want to give you. I'm going to bring a couple beers too, probably from Bottle Logic. Then we can just drink them together there at the con and stuff. So enjoy
There
some
you go.
beers, enjoy a lot of good things, interview some cool people, hopefully. But I haven't been to a con in like 4 or 5 years now. So
Oh, wow.
it's been a while since I've been to a Comic Con. I cannot wait. Cannot wait to go this week. It's going to be crazy.
So, read or watched anything good lately?
Yeah, so I've been keeping up with House of Dragon. Haven't seen the
That'd
latest
be a great pickup
episode.
line.
However, I do know what happened. Have you seen House of Dragon, the latest episode yet?
Oh yeah, it was
Some
a
good old
very interesting
Targaryen
episode,
incest.
and they're about to do a time jump again.
They
So I
are.
think that the younger girls are those
This
actresses are not going to be around much longer.
So this coming episode, episode 6. Yeah. So the first 6 episodes have the young, and then after episode 6, they time jump, and the next
We already
actresses
that
and
many in.
everybody. Yeah, we're already in. It's kind of great. It's been great. I've really enjoyed it. Oh, I forgot. Spoiler alert. Well, I mean, Targaryen's incest, right?
Oh
But
yeah. Well, and I went in ahead and like Googled the family tree, so I spoiled something for myself. But I wouldn't talk
also,
anything more about that. But
I won't
no,
either.
as far
Yeah.
as the time jump, I mean, they've already cast the actresses, and that's been all over the place. But I won't say anything else other than this last week was there were scenes that were hard to watch and not in the normal Game of Thrones way.
Yeah. So I other than
I'll
that,
leave it at that.
what have I been watching? You know what we've really been just binging is Ink Master. We've been watching some really trash TV, man. Just watching Ink Master. It's not good. Awful. I just shut my brain off. I've been watching a lot of football, of course. Sunday, I just laid on the couch and watched football all day, and that's my life now. I'm back to just football, pumpkin beers, pumpkin coffees, pumpkin everything. And other than that, I've been just crazy busy at work. So there's like 5 movies out right now that I want to see. I want to see The Invitation. I want to see Pearl. I want to see, God, what else is out there? Woman King. I want to
Clerks
see
3.
Clerks 3. So there's just so many movies I want to see that I don't know when I'm going to get to see them. So hopefully soon. But what have you been reading or watching lately?
So I'm still on my Smallville watch. I'm up to season 8, but it's just so great. There's some lines in there that are hilarious. Like Lionel Luthor, who obviously is Lex Luthor's dad, like was watching one and his son Lex Luthor's giving him shit about having a secret society, and he goes, "Son, the rich have secret societies. Others have poker nights." And I was like, "What a great line!" It's just such a ridiculous show, but I'm still having fun with it. And the podcast Talkville is awesome. And then I did get to see Clerks 3 this past weekend. Or this past week. I saw it Tuesday night. I don't want to say much about that
I've heard it's
because
amazing.
it's such a great movie. But it's like you go in there, you're expecting dick and fart jokes. It's Kevin Smith, but Kevin Smith also pulls at your heartstrings, and so I feel like the balance of that, and I think you saw it with like Adam Sandler movies too, where that he got to a certain age and it kind of shifted from the like the ridiculousness and the
Oh,
emotion, and
yeah.
then the emotion kind of so, I went in there expecting a certain type of movie, and I walked out and I got that movie, but I got a lot more,
Well,
and
it's
it was
about his heart
really,
attack.
really good.
So it's beautiful, because
It
it's about his heart attack,
is
basically.
right, but there was more to it as well, and it was such a great way to wrap up Clerks, which started back in what, 94? And, like, he came out
Yes.
and said, like, "This is the final Clerks movie. We are getting more we're supposed to get another Mallrats." But,
I
it
think
was a
that's
lot of
axed.
fun.
We're
It was
getting
really
Tusk
good.
2 instead, which I'm on board for.
No,
His
I want more Mallrats.
No, but okay, so when he was talking on his latest podcast and he was talking about Tusk 2, He was like, I basically wanted him to have that Two-Face complex, kind of how he gets fixed from being the walrus and kind of have that Harvey Dent going on.
See,
And
I don't even know
I'm
what you're talking about. I
so
haven't
on
seen it.
board.
So let's not ruin that movie. Maybe I'll watch it. Because when I saw the movie, it was, it came out Tuesday, but there was only a few people in the movie theater. And I guess it wasn't completely released everywhere. And so, like, most of the people in the movie theater had
We
on
got the beers.
movies shirts and stuff. And so, everybody's talking about Kevin Smith movies, and the Tusk thing came up. I went with Jess and her husband and a couple other people, and her husband had seen Tusk and said it was enjoyable.
It is. It's different, but it's good. I like Tusk, and I like Yoga Hosers, and I like all Kevin Smith things. And he's the one person that, if I walk away from Salt Lake's Comic-Con and don't meet, whether I pay $80 for a photo, I pay for an autograph, just to be like, dude, you are like the one person, one celebrity person that if I could meet, you are it. And just tell him how
So
much I appreciate his films.
there was So we're sitting at the bar in the movie theater lobby, and this guy comes up and he's got a hockey jersey and it says Clerks on it and it's that tape on it. And he starts telling us that he's friends with Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith was just texting him because he's about to go on this show. And then he continues to talk to us, and he's like, Kevin just wanted me to tell everybody that he loves his fans. And I'm like, I want to Google this guy. Like, is this guy and I told him, I go, well, I'm going to see him in a few weeks at, Salt Lake. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out with him. I'm not friends with him. And he goes, well, tell him that, I think his name was Tim Hill, his unofficial ambassador, is what the phrase he used. So I don't know, but this guy really wanted everybody to know he was friends with Kevin Smith, and that Kevin
Okay, if
Smith
you're
was
friends
just
with
so
Kevin
happy that
Smith,
we were all
help
going
us
to see his
out.
movie, but also just so much nostalgia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The guy
Wait
was
a
really nice and
second.
talked to us for a while, but I don't know. But
Well, hey,
yeah,
if
but I
we're,
mean,
if we're
yeah,
up there,
watching
be like,
Clerks,
hey,
it brings me
Tim
back
said
to
to
high
tell you
school.
hi. Tim said hi. Can you go ahead? Hey, come on.
I probably already forgot his real name. It's probably not even Tim, but that's what I got. Go see
Oh,
Clerks 3. It was amazing.
I'm gonna hopefully some way I can see it, because they're only playing it one time a day at 7 p.m. and the closest movie theater to me is 45 minutes away, and so I can't. It's hard to really, Carrie and I want to go see it together.
Well, he's coming to
Yeah, he's coming,
Well,
but
he's coming to the Hard Rock here to do like a thing, yeah.
yeah, the road show, which you should go to, even though you've already seen it.
$15, little
Put that
man.
shit in my
Put that
hand.
shit in my
But
hand.
yeah, so why don't we you
Thing.
want to roll
Somebody, my
into
brother's in the comments.
he is. Why don't we go
Yeah.
ahead and roll
Do-do-do.
into some news?
With the homie.
We have a lot of news. So we have some beer news, of course, because we are on the official beer. But we'll get to that later, because Disney had their D23 Expo this past week, and there's a lot of stuff. So before I get to the D23, I want to talk about a couple news pieces that I have that aren't necessarily D23 related. First is that we are getting a Violent Night, it is called, on December 2nd, featuring Dave Harbour, who you know as Hopper in Stranger Things. He's playing Santa Claus. Now, it's called Violent Night because Santa has to save a kidnapped family from mercenaries on Christmas Eve. Mother of God, I thought I got out of the game, but here I go. So really, Hopper went to Russia, became Santa Claus, and now he's saving the world from mercenaries. And
I thought he went to Russia to become the Red Guardian.
well, that too. Well, yeah, we're going to get to that news too. Also, I am just so freaking on board with this kind of movie. This movie speaks to my soul, because any
Honestly,
movie like this,
it's
I
Hopper
love.
and it's Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
I don't know. I'm just so on board with this. Yeah. First of all, you have Dave Harbour as Hopper playing Santa Claus. I don't know. Way better than the Mel Gibson, who was the ex-mercenary Santa Claus that came out last year that I watched. So, with that said, we also got a Blade Runner 2099 sequel series that has been ordered by Amazon. I never really got into the Blade Runner series personally, but we went and saw 2099. It was a pretty good movie. Had Ryan Gosling in it, who plays just a fantastic character in anything he does. So that was cool. I have not seen Hopper as Oscar the Grouch. No. Your mom just popped in.
Oh my gosh. It's SNL skit, and it
Oh,
is
really?
amazing. It is one of the best. I mean, it's I'm surprised you haven't seen it, because it should have gone more viral than it did. So yeah, it's a parody of him being Oscar the Grouch, but also it's a parody of the movie Joker.
Oh
And so
God, that's
he's
awesome.
Joker slash Oscar the Grouch. So anybody who hasn't seen that,
Wow,
pause this, go YouTube that, or as soon as you're done, just YouTube SNL. Don't
that's
not
crazy.
Harbour, not Hopper, David Harbour,
David
Oscar the
Harbour,
Grouch, and
yeah. I'm on
it's a whole
board.
Sesame Street
Sweet.
thing. It's freaking hilarious.
Um, Next up, we have Lionsgate is rebooting the Strangers films with a three-trilogy set. The first one's taking place in a secluded Airbnb. I think Liv Tyler, maybe it was Liv Tyler, was in the first one with, I can't remember his name, but it's basically about three people with burlap sacks on their heads. They knock on the door, they terrorize this couple, ended up killing them, and just because they were home. So there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It was a pretty creepy movie, pretty good, pretty decent. So they're going to be rebooting that franchise. And then A24, if you've been keeping up, has greenlit T West's Maxine. Now, what this film is, it's going to be the third film in the trilogy that's set in the Pearl universe. So if you caught X, which came out in the spring from A24, which really freaking good movie, one of my favorite movies of the year, horror wise. Now, Pearl releases today, and that's kind of the prequel to the movie X. And then Maxine's going to probably be the sequel to the movie X. So, highly recommend checking out the movie X. They go to shoot a porn movie, and like it's like back in the 70s, and they go to rent out this
So no one's
farmer's.
shaved.
Uh, it's got, who's, I think Brittany Snow is in it, actually, and there's a rapper whose name escapes me at this moment, and he is very famous, and he's a
It's
very good
Brittany
actor in
Snow. I
this.
don't even know Brittany Snow.
You'll know her once you see her. But they go to this farm where they rented out this house from this farmer dude, and to shoot their porn movie, and things
Oh,
happen from there. And so that's kind of what it is. It kind of has to deal with like religious cult and thing like that too. Not to spoil too much
gotcha.
more, but really good movie. And then aside from that, that's kind of actually Ki Hui Kwan has been cast in Loki season 2, which that got announced. I don't know if it was D23 or after, but he's was in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you also might know him as he was in the Indiana Jones movie. Dr. Jones when he was a kid. He was and he was in the Goonies too.
Oh,
So yeah,
gotcha. Oh, that's
that's
fun. He seemed like he wasn't in anything for years, and now he's
yeah.
like
Well, he
back.
just like disappeared. Hollywood didn't want him or something like that. It was I don't know what the full story was, but he just wasn't acting, and now he got this gig in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which he was amazing in, and he still kind of has that baby face, like looks the same, and
Hmm.
so he's coming back. And there's a really cool picture of him with Indiana or Harrison Ford
Harrison
at
Ford. Yeah, I saw
D23,
that.
and it was amazing. It was awesome.
Did you see the picture of Harrison Ford with the Marvels and like Miss
Yes,
Marvel, Iman? Oh my
Emma,
God, she looks so cute.
she was all of us. She was like, I met Harrison
Well, yeah,
Ford, and I'm
'cause
like,
she's
yeah.
brand new to all this. So yeah,
Well,
she's like starstruck like crazy. And like she's in the Marvel universe now. So she like just jumped all
yeah.
of these, like, you are now an A-list celebrity. Like
Well,
just go
Kevin
straight to the
Feige
top.
said like that was her first role. She was legit a fan. And now they're
Hmm.
like, we probably made a mistake, and I'm like, no, you didn't.
I saw an interview where she said she was answering questions for Brie Larson about the comic books that like
I
Brie
saw
Larson
that.
didn't know about
Yes, she was like,
Captain
am I
Marvel,
Avenger?
and she should at least know that.
I know. She had to be
She's I
taking a
mean,
piss.
we've seen pictures of her reading comic books.
Yeah, I mean, she had to. But there was also a really sad sequence. Speaking of Brie Larson, real quick, when basically somebody was like, "Are you returning or whatever?" And she was like, "I don't know. Do people want me to return?" And it was kind of depressing because,
Yeah.
like, while I didn't love Captain Marvel, I like her, and so yeah, I'd like her to return in some more stuff as Captain Marvel. Like that's sad to that. That's how she kind of feels because people suck.
It's hard because, when I watched that movie, I've genuinely very much so enjoyed that movie, and the soundtrack is amazing. It's every
Oh yeah.
CD I owned in high school because it's the 90s. And her kicking ass to I'm Just a Girl, like, I was giddy for that scene. I thought that was
Well,
amazing.
it means a lot
Um,
to a lot of different people.
Yeah, but my one issue is like so many of these characters get cast and they become, Chris Evans became Captain America. Robert Downey Jr. became Iron Man. And I didn't feel like that from the comics I've read of Captain Marvel. I didn't feel like she became Captain Marvel or Carol Danvers.
Right.
But what I will say though is in the movie though, the whole time she's being like gaslit to not feel anything. And so
Yeah.
she was very stoic. And so that origin story of her there, she was a lot of times emotionless. And I feel like that's what people had an issue with. But I think they were also trying to portray how women are often told not to use their emotions and to think rationally,
That's a good
whether
point.
that's the right thing or the wrong thing to do in that situation. So I'm hoping in the Marvels, we get more of like she's had some character growth. She's realized that, like, suppressing her emotions was wrong and she didn't need to do that. And that was the Kree race trying to keep her powers in check so that they
Yeah,
could control her. And
I
that
think
we
we
get
will.
more of that, like, spunky Captain Marvel that we get in the
Well,
comics.
the problem too is she kind of suffers from that Superman complex because people don't really know what to do with her character because she's very overpowered. But just like Superman, there's a
Right.
lot you
They
can do
don't
with these
always want to be like,
characters.
she needs kryptonite so that
Right.
they
I
can,
mean, they like
like in
how do you
Smallville, everyone
depower?
has kryptonite.
Of course, kryptonite's the
Kryptonite
most
is
common thing on the
everywhere in Smallville.
kryptonite's the most common rock on the earth. Read a fucking book.
It's all over Metropolis. And I mean, I don't know why Clark doesn't just assume everybody has it. He should always
Clark,
have a
trust
backup plan,
nobody. Everybody has kryptonite. Jesus, man.
even if they don't know they have it. They
Right?
just happen to have it somewhere.
Let's
But yeah, no, that makes sense because you don't want her to just come in and save the day every time because that's
right.
not a story. That'd be
Well,
great in
yeah.
real life, but
Not how that works.
no.
So let's dive into some quick Star Wars D23 news before we go into the Marvel because Marvel had a lot. First things first, there is Andor. Obviously, that's releasing this Thursday, the 21st of September. When you're listening to this after the fact, if you're live, it's a week from today, and I'm really excited for this. It looks cinematic. It was mostly
It looks
shot
amazing
on location, and
in Scotland.
yes, oh god, it's beautiful. The cinematography looks beautiful. All the TV, spots that we've seen in trailers. Like I try not to watch them, but then we get really cool shots like Phase 2 clone trooper armor which in live action where if you remember the prequels, the Clone War arm, the clone
It's all
armors was all
CGI.
CGI, but this is like legit Clone Wars armor. I'm geeking out. Uh
Think we're gonna have what's his face?
who
Boba Fett. I can't remember the actor's name.
no, Tamora
They could
Morrison.
CGI him younger.
I don't think they'll show it. Well, because at this point, the Empire. This is taking place 5 years before Rogue One, which Rogue One kicks off A New Hope. So at this point,
Maybe Rex will
the
show up.
Well, listen, I'm something of a
Star Wars fan.
yeah. And so, well, of course, first things first, you can catch all my Star Wars news about D23 on dorksideoftheforce.com. Shameless plug for your boy writing right here. But this takes place right before the downfall of the Empire, basically, right? Where everything begins to go to shit. At this point, the clones were phased out. They pretty much kill the clones, they kick them out, all that thing. So these are real people in, human beings, not clones in this armor. So that's why I don't think we're going to see him. But I also, if you don't know, we are also going to have this. So, like I said, this takes place 5 years before Rogue One. The first season's 12 episodes, and this takes place in year one. Whereas season 2, which they're about to begin production for, takes place years 2 to 5. And each chunk, so you have it'll be 12 episodes, 3 episodes in year 2, 3 in year 3, 3 in year 4, and then, that kind of thing. So that's the way it's going. It's basically like a spy thriller, and somebody who saw it said that it is basically akin to an HBO drama series, not the typical Star Wars action that we're used to, which I'm fully on board for.
Well, it's also much longer. 12 episodes. I was surprised to see that. Even She-Hulk's going 9, but those episodes are very short, and they're going, with the
Well,
sitcom angle.
I think they're about 30 minutes. They said they're closer to 30-minute episodes for Andor.
Oh, really?
Which I'm very surprised of myself, personally.
Huh.
I would have thought they would have been 45 minutes-ish, but, maybe they say 45 minutes and really it's 30 minutes and then 10, 15 minutes of credits like Disney likes to do. Anyways, moving on.
Right.
Rogue Squadrons, which was going to be a Patty Jenkins film, has been taken off of the release list, which sucks because I was looking forward to that big time. And Bad Batch Season 2 will premiere January 4th with 2-episode premiere. I didn't love that show. I didn't hate that show. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay. This is fine. That's kind of how I feel about that series.
Well, they did a lot of tie-ins with other characters, so I'm kind of looking forward to that evolving, and especially because I feel like like they had Fennec Shand in it in one
That's
episode,
true. Yeah, that
so I
is
feel like
true.
they're connecting because this is a newer animated one as opposed to Rebels and Clone Wars. So I feel like they're going to incorporate more of the live action people that we've become familiar with.
I would absolutely kill to see the Bad Batch make it to the Rebellion, and somehow they like the next Star Wars film maybe is we get all of these characters and what they're doing during the Rebellion era, like the
Yes,
original trilogy. Like if we're not going to remake their OT, then let me see what these guys are doing during the original trilogy, because
I could see that
I am
happening.
so on board.
All right, what other news you got?
So Tales of the Jedi. I don't remember. I didn't mention this one yet, but Tales of the Jedi will be a 6 episode series, or animated series, premiering October 26th. And so you're gonna have 2 episodes focusing on Qui Gon Jinn. You're gonna have 2 episodes on Ahsoka and 2 episodes on Count Dooku. Now, what we're gonna get to see with Qui Gon as a Padawan, Ahsoka young, and then we're gonna
Baby
get
Ahsoka.
yeah, and then we're gonna get to see Count Dooku in his fall to the dark side. So this is stuff we haven't seen before, which kind of fill in gaps in there. And I kind of hope that they do more of this kind of stuff. Like, where were these Jedi? What did this Jedi do? What was Yoda doing for 900 years before the fall of the rebellion? Like, let's see that. Let's see Mace Windu when he was younger. I don't know. I'm on board.
Yeah,
So
no, the trailer looks good too. It was very
it
exciting to
does.
see a lot of young Anakin and
Yeah,
young Rex and everybody again.
absolutely. Well, that's all my Star Wars. Like I said, you can catch everything on dorksideoftheforce.com. Let's move to Marvel D23. Why don't you kick us off? What do we have?
So the first thing I know a lot of people are excited about is Daredevil will begin filming in 2023. Charlie Cox came out, and I know everybody's excited for this, but he did confirm. He said this is a season 1 show. This is not a season 4. This is a completely different thing. And he said, I think this is the way to go. If you're going to do it again, do it differently.
That's fair.
I don't know if they're just going to pretend that Netflix is not 616,
I thought it was
if
going to
they're
be
just going to
loosely
completely.
connected.
Well, I mean, when they brought out the shows, it's same with similar to Shield, where
Right.
they meant. I mean, they call the Avengers movie the Incident. There's many connections,
That's fair.
but I mean, they can't just completely ignore it. The fact, what they've done in Multiverse of Madness and everything, they can't just ignore it. I did do a little poll on Instagram, and pretty much everybody. One person said I couldn't care less. I'm guessing they don't watch Daredevil, but everybody else
Yeah.
said they don't prefer that. They'd prefer it be a season 4, but they're still just happy for more Daredevil. So I think that's the
The general
page that most of the
consensus
fans
is
are
we're
on.
getting more Daredevil, and I haven't watched the latest She-Hulk yet, but
And
he's
we're
got
and
to be
it's
coming.
Charlie Cox.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we got Charlie Cox as Daredevil coming back, and so everybody's thrilled at that.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. It was
The
great seeing them
cast.
on stage together too, because Vincent
Yeah.
D'Onofrio, which he's going to be at Salt Lake. Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be at Salt Lake
Yeah.
again. Somebody I really want to interview and be like, what's it like coming back into this world? How hype are we? What are we going to give us a little tidbit here? Like, I am so hype
I'm
about
going to
that.
tell him, "Did you know my friend Tim Howe doesn't like you?"
He's going to
That's what I'm going to
probably
say.
bash his head in the car door. So watch out, Tim.
Here's your Stan Lee cameo.
Vanessa.
So the cast of Captain America: New World Order has been confirmed. Of course, we have Anthony Mackie as Cap. Carl Lumbly is coming back as Isaiah Bradley. I really love
Yes.
that they're going to do more backstory on that, because Isaiah
Yes.
Bradley was a tragic Captain America story in the comics. So I would love to explore that more.
It's so sad.
Danny
They
Ramirez
used
is coming
him
back as
and then
Falcon.
tossed him, threw him in jail. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And that happened in the comics as well. But the guy that's like their errand boy in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he's coming back and he's Falcon. And
Yeah.
then, of course, we have Tim Blake Nelson from the
This is a
Hulk
deep cut.
2008
This is a
coming
deep
back
cut.
as the lead.
I'm so stoked. We're okay.
I mean, talk about a slow burn. Where the hell has this guy been?
This guy has been just waiting and waiting and waiting, and now he's here. But where is Betty Ross? Can somebody find
I
Betty
don't know.
Ross? Because they're bringing
She's red hulking out somewhere.
the whole gang is back, but poor Betty Ross has yet to be seen. I
I don't
wonder
know.
if we're gonna get her. Do you think we're gonna get Betty Ross at some point?
I don't know because she hasn't even been mentioned. I think
Exactly.
that
That's the
there's still a
crazy thing. They're
chance.
connecting that movie, but they haven't mentioned her.
Right. It hasn't even been a like, oh
It's
yeah, I
she's
miss my
pretty freaking
girlfriend thing.
important,
Like,
Bruce.
right. Like the only person we hear is Natasha.
You
That's and
see,
like, did him and Natasha ever even officially have a thing?
right, but like Bruce Banner is now seen as a superhero saving the Earth. You think they would have reintroduced Betty Ross somewhere?
Especially the fact that her dad was still in a shit ton of the movies.
Yeah, that's I don't
I
know.
don't
It's
know.
crazy. It is so crazy to
I
me.
wonder if that's a personal thing or it hasn't worked to bring her into the story, but I feel like at least a
They
nod.
could
Like
have
how, they
somehow.
quickly mentioned Jane and Ragnarok of like, "Oh, I'm sorry Jane
Yeah,
broke up with you." Like just drop something. Like
give us
fans don't
something.
forget. I don't know, but my news is all over the place. So, my next piece of news, there's a lot of news, not even just D23
Lot.
this week.
There is no.
The
We got
Hawkins
slam news with news this week.
Yeah, that's why this whole episode is pretty much news. So the
Yeah.
Hawkins National Laboratory from Stranger Things is getting demolished.
Oh
It's
no.
probably because they have Demogorgons in there.
I mean,
Quantum Leap,
I
to
remember this
put right
show.
what once went wrong, is getting rebooted, coming to
Oh,
NBC on September 19th.
I never watched it.
I
Did you?
loved
You did?
Quantum Leap. Hell yeah, I watched Quantum Leap with
Oh
Scott
wow.
Bakula. Hell yeah. That show was amazing. I remember Josh and I rewatched it with Kaylee when she was little, but there were few episodes on Netflix that they just didn't have. Like there was something I think with the JFK shooting,
Oh,
like the last episode.
right
There was
on.
a couple ones they never aired. I guess they didn't have the rights to stream it or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's coming back. The hologram character's back. I watched the trailer. I mean, it doesn't look like Scott Bakula quality, but he better make a freaking cameo or something. But I don't. I think Al has since passed.
I have no. I like I said. I don't know. I've never seen the show. I think my grandpa watched it, but I never got into it because my grandpa was a big sci-fi nerd.
It's such a good show. You should watch it. I feel. I mean, when I watched it like 10 years ago, I felt like it held up. But he's like such a good guy, and like he's not just jumping into the body of white dudes. Like he's jumping into the body of all sorts of different people, and he can travel anywhere in his timeline. So since he was born, so he could travel all the way back to the 50s. And of course, there was one episode he was able to go all the way back to the 1800s because it was a blood relative. But for the most part, it was from the 50s on. So he's been inside celebrities. That sounded dirty.
Yeah,
But
yes.
like some of them were like way out there. Like one episode, he like leaped into the body of a chimp who was being like
Oh
having
wow.
experiments done to him, and he had to like free the apes or the chimps. I don't know. That
Interesting.
one was really, really interesting episode. I mean, some of them you're like laughing, like you're almost embarrassed
Caesar.
that he's doing it. But he took the role, every role he did. He was so serious and took it great. And so we'll see. All right.
Hey, put your heart and soul
There's a
into it.
trailer for Disenchanted came out. That comes out November 24th on
Okay,
Disney Plus.
I'm excited for
I'm
that.
stoked.
Harper has discovered Enchanted and has been watching that nonstop lately.
Good. Oh, the
She has
soundtrack on
been
that
all
one.
about it, and we're actually doing her birthday in a couple weeks. Her birthday party is going to be all like Enchanted princess theme.
Nice.
So I
Oh, my
can't
mom
wait.
just asked about my poll for Logan. I was going to mention that at the end. I did do a poll for Logan. This was a whole totally hypothetical and
The
not really
movie?
newsworthy, but I'll just jump to that since it was asked in the comments. I did a poll on our Facebook page and I did a poll on our Instagram. If Wolverine was going to be introduced in the MCU, how would you prefer him to be introduced? On both platforms, the first choice was Hugh Jackman as Wolverine coming back. The second choice was Laura. The third choice was a totally new actor,
I want
but
the
it
third
being
choice.
Logan. And the fourth choice was Dankin, his son. And yeah, that's
Give me
everybody wants
choice
Hugh
number
Jackman.
3. Give me choice number
A, lo-
3. Also, it was your brother
a
who
totally
asked.
new
Put some
actor.
credit on that man.
Oh,
Yes,
oh! I didn't realize my brother cared about the poll. I just
give
assumed
me a totally new actor.
it was my mom asking about the poll.
Nope, it was your brother, man. Hey, shout out to you, Brandon. Giving you some respect out here.
There
No,
you go.
Lauren won't. But yeah, I want a new actor because I want to see like a really cool. Just I would love to have Laura, but at the same time, if we're gonna reboot all of the X-Men,
Yeah.
give me some time with Wolverine again because I feel like I want to see Wolverine done in this X-Men universe that Marvel's gonna build because we're gonna get it properly done.
We had a good goodbye in Logan,
We
but we
did.
also said goodbye to Xavier, what, 3, 4 times
Yeah,
now?
we're gonna bring him back. I mean, you
He's already
most
back.
well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying, like Give me Logan with a new actor. I want to see how they run with their X-Men universe.
Well, I was reading a comic today where Wolverine, Laura, and Daken were all in the same scene,
Hmm, interesting. I don't
and he
know.
was time traveling.
It's
Wolverine does
easy to
time
be
travel
saying
sometimes,
this
so
behind a microphone, so that's just my opinion, man.
well, that's just like your opinion,
That's just your
man.
opinion,
Okay,
man.
Mufasa prequel
We
will be
don't
coming
need
in
this one.
2019. Or sorry, I read that wrong. Mufasa the prequel is coming. It will be live action, and it is a prequel to the
Ugh.
2019 Lion King.
All right,
A
all
lot of
right.
people do not like this animation,
No,
but
well,
calling it live action, I put that in quotes because it's
well,
not.
it's
They're
all
not making
CGI. Like,
lions
come
act.
on.
Yeah, I'll
I
watch it, but I'm not super
I'm not.
stoked
I didn't
for
even
it.
watch the the 2019 live action. I haven't seen that movie yet because I just don't want to. And why do we need a move? Like, all right, all these jokers out here who are outraged that the Little Mermaid is played by a non-white ginger girl. Why don't we direct that anger towards like why are we gonna do a
Doing
Mufasa
these
prequel? We don't need.
unsettling live
Yeah, why are we
actions.
doing this? Like, first and foremost, the Little Mermaid. It's fictional. She's a fucking mermaid. She can be any race, color, whatever. Are you that pressed? Like, my God. Second of all, let's direct our anger. Maybe bullying's never okay, but maybe we bully CW for, I don't know, making us have to see that they're really going forward with Gotham Knights. That's
Oh
just
yeah,
me.
what's happening with that?
They're filming.
I
They've
just want to
begun
see
filming.
Misha Collins as Two Face.
They have begun
All right.
filming. So,
Well,
anyways,
there you go. Little Mermaid live action will be May 2023. Snow White live action will be 2024. We've already had a few of those.
we're getting.
Peter Pan
We
and
had a Snow
Wendy.
White live action.
Yeah, we've had a few. I guess maybe they weren't Disney. We had
I don't recall. I maybe
one with Julia Roberts was the evil queen.
she was.
There was another one where Charlize Theron was the evil queen.
Oh,
I don't know.
well, I
All
know
right.
we had. Oh wait, never mind. That's Maleficent's Aurora. Never mind. I was thinking. I know we had what's Angelina Jolie, but that's totally different. But Disney, man, you're really
So,
milking these live action properties of your people, huh? You got Pinocchio just came out. Still haven't
oh,
watched
yeah.
that because Pinocchio's a
Oh
straight up
yeah, I
horror
haven't
film.
either.
Well, it's horror.
Peter
It's
Pan and
terrible.
Wendy comes out 2023 on Disney
Oh my
Plus.
God, they're doing
Um,
that too again.
yeah. So this is Peter Pan and Wendy though, so I don't know if it's going to be different than just Peter Pan.
I don't know.
But that one, I don't know. Some of that needs to be redone. Like when I rewatch Peter Pan with the kids, I'm like, oh, there's some like
He
questionable things
kidnaps.
in this movie.
He is like a 75-year-old man who doesn't age, trapped in a little boy's body, kidnapping children from their house to take them to an island of other kidnapped children. Like, when you really break
Well,
down
if you
these
watch
Disney
Once Upon a
films,
Time, he's a villain in Once Upon a Time
he's
and
a villain
terrifying.
in his own story. Yeah.
So they have cast Ezra Bridger and Ahsoka. It is Amon
Yes.
Esfandi.
Well,
I don't
Ahsoka's
know him, but
fantastic.
this guy looks like
He
the
does
cartoon
look the
grew up.
part. I don't know what other stuff he's played in, but he looks he looks on point. On point.
Yeah. So we got Disney is launching their own version of Magic the Gathering, a trading card game. Inside Out 2 has also been announced,
Oh, this
2024.
one. Okay. This poor girl.
You
So
don't
it's
like
going to
Inside Out?
I did.
Oh,
However, this poor
Riley?
girl
Oh.
just got over her depression of moving, so they're gonna bring her into her teenage years and like give her more depression. Like, that's sad.
I think there's more emotions coming or something. I
There
don't
have.
know.
I mean, before everybody yells at me, yes, a teenage girl, you go through a flurry of emotions, different, like just like teenage boys do. So I can see this working. We're probably gonna see her first breakup and just dealing with life as a teenager. So I get it. But this poor
Huh.
girl, man, hasn't she suffered enough?
She's just living life.
Is she though?
What else do we got? E.T. is turning 40. I can't believe E.T. is that old. So Fisher Price has made E.T.
Whoa,
Little People. I love
interesting.
E.T. Reminder, The Walking
Um,
Dead final episode start October 2nd. I will be watching, and we're going to be doing a zombie Halloween episode,
we
and
have
I
a
will be
lot of
talking
really
about
cool
Walking Dead.
Halloween episodes on tap.
Halo season 2.
Oh
Yes.
God,
Halo season 2 has started shooting.
no!
Didn't
Just
you say that show
cancel
was
it.
bad?
It's awful. Oh my God! If you're a fan of Halo property, for the love of Christ, do not watch it. It is awful. It is so disrespectful. It hurts my will to live.
It's
Whatever
so
was left of it.
disrespectful.
It is so disrespectful. It is so disrespectful. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Jamie Lee Curtis has been cast as Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion movie. How they announced this was at D23, and they had her in an actual Doom buggy, and they turned the Doom buggy around.
Oh.
So if you're not familiar with the Haunted Mansion ride, the thing you're sitting in is called a Doom buggy.
I have
And I
some
thought that
Jamie
was really
Lee
cool.
Curtis news.
Go for it.
So, 1978 John Carpenter's Halloween, along with the fourth and fifth sequels in the series, are going to be re-released in theaters beginning later this month to get you ready for Halloween Ends. So that's happening. I'm pretty excited.
So does Evil die this year?
We don't know. Look, they already said that they're not really going to explain the time jump, or like what has Mike, not the time jump, but like what Michael has been doing in between the last film and this one. So whatever.
He's probably like
He's just
got a
sitting in
real
his room
job,
playing
and he's
video
just
games. Getting
he's
high,
working at a
waiting
farm,
for kill people. I don't know. He's just counting, because I think it takes place a year
just
later.
waiting for Halloween.
Yeah, he
Probably
got a
really
job.
likes pumpkin spice lattes.
I bet you he was crushing Sam Adams summer ale on the back porch of the farm he's got a job at.
I love that this franchise is just like, we don't have to answer questions. We don't care about plot holes. We're just going to do whatever the hell we want for this movie, even though none of it makes
And I
sense.
love
And we
it.
don't care.
I love it. You know why? Because it's just so asinine, and that especially that sequence in Halloween Kills where a lady brings an iron to a knife fight. Like, you know what? Sign me up.
Hey, maybe she had just watched Home Alone and she was like, man, irons can be dangerous.
Just sign me up.
So Star Trek Strange New Worlds has cast Carol Kane for season 2. She's in a bunch of stuff, but she's the funny older lady in Kimmy Schmidt. She's in Scrooged. She's in a bunch of stuff. If you know her, if you see her, you know her. She's got the blonde curly hair and she has the high pitched voice.
Be like, yeah, I know who this is.
She like beat the crap out of Bill Murray in Scrooged, and she was the fairy. She was one of the ghosts. Okay. I need to rewatch that movie because I don't remember the specifics from that movie.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it come Christmas time.
Maybe that could be one of our ones.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. We haven't covered that one yet.
Bloomington, Indiana now has a Stranger Things hotel. So if you're in Bloomington, Indiana, check that out. All right, here's my D23 parks news for those who care about the parks. I'll go through this quick because I know not everybody does. Dino Land at Animal Kingdom is being considered to be replaced by Zootopia and Moana.
Okay, they should
Avengers Campus in Disneyland.
Hey, back it up. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen.
I hope they do.
Well, they already. So
Moana
they have.
Would be awesome.
So they have like that one huge ride that's called Primeval Whirl.
Yeah.
It's literally the worst ride ever, and that ride is gone. It's
really?
Completely gone. Yeah, and they shut it down a while ago. Completely dismantled it.
Sign me up though. Like a Moana, like because you got to kind of update it with the times and all your new properties that are coming out. I mean, Moana is a really popular property, so is Zootopia. So.
Right. Well, they're doing a Moana thing at Epcot right now. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what they'll do. And they did emphasize that they're considering it. There have been many ideas at Disney that never actually happened. Like there were countries at Epcot that were
get rid of Avatar. Boo.
The Avatar land is amazing.
It's so popular. They would never. It is so popular. But
because even if you don't like the movies, the Flight of Passage is amazing, and the whole Pandora area is really cool.
All right, I gotta come.
You got to walk through there at night too. So Avengers Campus is getting another Marvel ride that's in Disneyland. It's going to have Thanos in it.
Okay, this one is sick because it takes place. I didn't mean to cut you off. I am doing that left and right. I sincerely apologize. But this one is awesome. Did you read about what it's going to be?
No.
It's going to be in a multiverse setting, but Thanos won. So you have King Thanos, and he's the bad guy this ride.
Oh.
It's going to be fucking
I don't care because we're not getting in Florida.
Okay, this leads into your next little news where Disneyland is getting Mando and Grogu at Galaxy's Edge. Why is that also not coming to Disney World?
So I read a theory. I don't know. I'm not friends with any of the execs at Disney, so I don't know if this is
wrong with you? Go there enough.
Because they already have Boba Fett and Fennec Shand, which we don't have. Somebody made a touchdown or first down or interception or something.
Football, I have one of the
Matt just did a little cheerleading mark move
in this game right now. So Mike Williams, he just caught a really long pass, and he's one of my wide receivers, and so sports are stupid. I don't know why I do this. I question myself every year, but here I am. Football, fantasy football, 7 fantasy football leagues, because I'm an idiot.
Jesus, right.
Because I'm an idiot.
What was I talking about though? Okay,
No, we're
Mando and
talking about
Grogu.
your
So
yeah.
some people think that it is because we have the hotel, and people who are visiting the hotel, when they come into Batu, seeing those characters wouldn't fit with the storyline of the hotel. What I don't get is just don't have the characters out when you have the hotel guests out.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like,
But whatever. Or just have them in set areas that are like you go inside and take pictures. But I guess at
so
Disneyland they have them walking around.
here's my next
Whatever.
question then. Do you think we're gonna eventually, because like Kylo Ren and the Stormtroopers and Chewbacca, they've been played out at this point, right? Like we've seen them plenty of times for a long time at Galaxy's Edge. Do you think we're gonna get characters like Ahsoka, Ezra, Sabine, and
I don't
because
know.
we've seen Rey and all that too, but why aren't we getting
What
like
I
Ahsoka and crew?
I don't know. I think personally what Disney World should do. See, I should get a job there just so I can tell them what to do.
That's true.
Is in Hollywood Studios, we don't just have Galaxy's Edge. Like you also have Star Tours, which is outside Galaxy's Edge, and you have the whole trading. I can't remember what it's
The
called by the
trading, yeah,
Disney
you have the
Junior
trading
area.
post. Oh, that area. Okay, okay, I got you. I got you.
So I always forget what it's called. But it used to be like where you did the drawing classes and you took pictures with like, random
Right.
characters like Wreck-It Ralph. And now though it's all Star Wars. And so it's kind of like a Star Wars museum. You can
Oh
walk through
wow.
all of the movie posters and TV posters before you even get inside. And then they have like and little models of all the different ships and it tells you what the ship is, what battle it was in. They have a little mini replica of the cantina with like fake blue and green milk like sitting there that you can pose with. Before COVID, they used to have Jawas walking around and they would like take
Oh
stuff
no
off the
way.
stroller. And yeah, that was pretty cute. And they also used to have that they got rid of was they had cases with lightsabers in them, and they said which lightsaber, like who it belonged to. So it was literally like a museum. Like they were treating Star Wars like it
It
was real,
belongs in
and
a
this was a museum.
museum.
But then during COVID, apparently there were assholes standing on top of the star or on top of the lightsaber cases. And because they weren't having meet and greets at the time, they only had one cast member in there, and the cast member couldn't control the a-holes. And so they just
Why?
took the lightsaber cases out. Because I was
Oh
in
my
there a few
god.
months ago and I straight up asked a cast member, and that's what he told me.
People
But they
suck,
also
man.
usually have Kylo, or not Kylo. Yeah, they sometimes have Kylo Ren over there, Darth Vader, which Darth Vader sometimes
They have
only if you
Darth
have the
Vader?
Disney credit card. Mhm. Only
Oh.
if you have
Oh,
the
the
Disney
Disney
credit card,
okay.
but
Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
um, if you since they haven't had the characters though, you can go over there with your card and they'll do poses and you don't have to
Huh.
pay for them. They'll automatically go on your Magic Band. Uh, and they usually have BB-8 and Chewie.
I saw
I think
okay,
that's where
Chewie. I've
they
seen
should
Chewie.
have the characters that don't line up with Batu. Just have them there.
Right.
That was a long explanation to get to what I wanted to say, but
Well,
then I had
no,
a lot to
I
say
agree
once I
with you.
started
Look, we
talking.
had there was a lot to say on this.
They also haven't been marching the stormtroopers out since COVID. I don't know why that's not back. Like they used to actually have like Kylo
Like
Ren would come out and like the
they
stormtroopers would follow him.
they
And I
did that at
don't know if they've
Disneyland.
reached. Did they? So
Yeah.
maybe they just have started it back up here, and I just haven't been there since they have. But they also, I don't know if they've done the Jedi, if they've brought the Jedi training back yet, because Vader used to be out for that. The kids would
Right.
have to fight
Oh yeah,
Vader,
that area and Darth Maul, and they had a bunch of them. Yeah.
and
So
that's right by Star Tours.
right. First of
So
all,
that's not in Batu.
your mom asked where Han and Leia. So the reason why you don't get any of those original trilogy characters outside of Vader is because Disney only has like the sequel trilogy characters. So that's kind of why. But I didn't realize that Disney World, you would have thought that Disney World would have been the leader of both Disney or all the Disney parks to have characters back and milling around and things. I didn't realize when I went to Disneyland that you only really get those experiences at Disneyland, like the princesses and all of that stuff. Because Erica was like, "Oh wow, I wish they did this at Disney World." I thought they were doing. I figured they would have been doing that by now,
We have the princesses here. The thing is, they don't walk around.
which is weird.
They're in a set place. They used to walk around here. Like if you look at like pictures when I went to the parks with
Right.
my kids, like we're running up to characters on Main Street. But I think it just gets too the lines form too quick and people get nasty and competitive. So now
Oh
at
yeah.
Magic Kingdom, and because we have more space, at Magic Kingdom, they have set areas. Like a few years ago, it was probably 10 years ago now, I don't know. They have a set area in Fantasyland with 4 princesses. There's always 4 princesses there,
Mm,
and it's 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, and so, and you can always see Anna and Elsa are at Epcot, and they have a set area. So,
okay.
in like if you want to see the main characters, you can go to New Fantasyland and like Talking Mickey's on Main Street. So they all
Okay.
have homes. Some of the
Well,
characters will walk
well,
around,
well,
especially
that
at the
makes sense.
parties, but it's rare that a character's walking around and will grab your kid's hand and walk away like you got to
Well, so
experience
you
at
really only saw that
Disneyland.
at Avengers Campus, I guess. But I will say that at Disneyland they had there's like the like where there's a room where you can put like 4 or 5 princesses in, and that's we waited like an hour and a half in that line, and Mulan stood outside of it. It's like I'm trying to think. It's like the Royal Palace or something like. It's like right to the
Oh, the
like
royal
if
table.
it might be something like you're staring at the castle before you go in, and off to the left it was kind of where they do like plays or whatever, telling everybody's story and whatnot. But I guess
Oh.
really only Avengers Campus had them walking around, whereas I think Matt or Disneyland was more of they were in set areas, so that makes sense. No, that's a lie. I lied because I saw Captain Hook and I saw Gaston and all them walking around. So I don't know, man. I
See,
guess Disney
Gaston will
World's more
sometimes walk
popular.
around, and he's always pretty funny. He walks around by Gaston's Tavern,
He was
but like
flexing a
the Bell
lot.
is yeah, the Belle meet and greet though is like story time. Like
Oh,
you come
okay.
and you hear a story with Belle and then
That's
she takes
cute.
pictures. Have you seen there was some video where some guy challenges Gaston to a push-up contest and
No.
the cast member literally starts doing push-ups with one hand and then looks at the guy and gives pulls up his other hand while still doing push-ups and he goes, "Do you need a hand?" I mean, like,
How do you
talk about it of like
recover?
this
Oh my
this guy
god.
needs a promotion.
No, that guy, I hope he gets paid all the money because how do you recover from that? That's
All the
oh
minimum
my
wage.
god.
No, I mean, some of these cast members are
Oh
absolutely
no.
amazing.
Let's
All
move
right,
on.
what other
Yes, we
news do we
spent a
have?
long time. I know you wanted to just breeze past that, but I love the parks. I'm a Disney adult.
Well,
Not but
I mean, and I am too. So I always assume that other people who are listening, because they don't necessarily live in Orlando,
I mean, I
might
don't,
not
but I
really
still
give a
love this
crap.
shit. Okay, that's fair. I get
Good.
you. I don't we go like
All
once
right,
a year at this
Magic.
point.
Well, and I mean, that's a lot. Well, I
That's
know
true.
Kevin from Hops and Heroes. I know he's a Disney fan. Mike has talked about Disney, so
That's
we
true.
definitely have people that
Shout
who
out
love
to
it.
all
But
our Disney fans.
Tron at Magic Kingdom will be opening in spring. This ride has been being like made
Isn't this been for like
forever.
17 million? Yeah, I was gonna say, hasn't this
It's
been a thing for a long time?
ridiculous. Yes. So, Magic Kingdom is getting the Hatbox Ghost, so that is
What's that?
fun. The Hatbox Ghost is in the Haunted Mansion
Huh.
at Disneyland. If you watch, there's a documentary on Disney Plus that actually they do an episode for different rides, and one of them they did was the Hatbox Ghost, and it's the ghost that's smiling and he's holding a hat box, and then his head
Oh,
disappears and it shows up in the box.
that's cute.
So it's like a big deal though because like when they first opened it, they wanted to try to create this and they didn't really have the technology and like it wasn't working right.
The
And then
future is
years later there
now.
was an Imagineer that was like, I think I know how to do this now, and they did it.
Nice.
But like we've never gotten the Hatbox Ghost at Magic Kingdom, but
Yeah,
they sell stuff with him on it. He's a big deal. He's the Hatbox Ghost.
that's
So
cool.
we're finally
Okay,
getting him at
I'm on
Magic
board.
Kingdom.
Hell yeah.
Figment is going to start making appearances at Epcot. What a thought, because he does represent Epcot,
Okay.
despite that mother that told her daughter that Figment was the dragon from Mulan.
No, stupid.
Oh, I turned around like
You
and looked. I didn't
dummy.
realize like I looked at her like disgusted, and she kind of looked at me, and I was and so then I quickly had to be like, oh no, that's Mushu. That's Figment
Listen
is
here,
the dragon that
stupid.
represents Epcot. You dumb slut.
Listen here, dummy. You don't ever
You
disrespect Eddie
ignorant
Murphy like
slut.
that.
Seriously. But I mean, I think after the Figment popcorn bucket debacle where people were waiting 6 hours
Oh
in
my
line, they're like, oh, maybe
god.
people actually like Figment. Maybe we should
No,
have
I
him in
think
the
people
park that
just
he
get it.
represents. Oh, did you see there was a thing with some lady was trashed at Epcot and was like yelling at security and like got put in a wheelchair and was still like trying to get up. Some
What?
guy made a really funny song. It's to the Figment song because it's like, one little spark, imagination. And he did like one little sip,
That's all right.
inebriation.
Oh my
And
god.
like he's singing to like the
That's
video.
great.
Like there so many people recorded it and threw it online. But
Wow.
okay. And I'm guessing she got a lifetime ban because that's what
Oh
happens when
wow.
you can't drink around the world. You get kicked out forever. Um,
If you can't
Another
handle.
consideration that has been somewhat announced is they're going to be adding a new land to Magic Kingdom potentially. And this could conclude the Santa Cecilia's Dia de las Muertas celebrations from Coco, the
No!
Madrigal's Enchanted Casita from Encanto, and a place overrun by Disney villains.
I
I hope this happens.
love
It
this
sounds amazing.
idea.
I think a lot of people do. I think it's going to be more adult focused.
Oh my
If it happens,
gosh.
I
The
don't know. We'll
family
see. And if it
madrigal.
does happen and it's more adult focused, they need to sell
Isabel.
drinks, not just at sit downs.
Yeah, give me some
Isabella.
margaritas. Your boyfriend's here.
Uh, God, it's been a while since we've had that on repeat in this
Yeah,
house.
honestly, same.
And my last piece of park news, maybe, is Magic Kingdom is bringing back the happily ever after fireworks.
Nice.
But
Well,
I
did you
have
know
more
that
23 news.
there's a dick, yes, a giant dick. Did you know that
On the
there's a
Ariel Castle,
yeah,
yes, I know.
a documentary on Mickey Mouse is coming to Disney Plus on November 18th. And there's also a new
That should
Disney
be cute.
boat.
This is going to be their 6th cruise line named Treasure.
Yes.
I'm excited for this, not just because of the new experiences, because every boat is a little different, but also because I'm hoping prices will go down if
No.
there's more
Bob
boats.
Chapek is already talking about how they don't charge enough for Disney Plus. So good luck.
I live in delusional land. So my brother just asked, have y'all gone to Universal's Epcot?
No.
To Universal's what?
I didn't.
Have y'all gone over
EPOC?
Universal? I think it was just a typo. I've been to
Oh.
Universal.
I've
Universal is
been to
pretty
Universal.
awesome.
Universal is awesome. Harry Potter World, Hollywood, Halloween Horror Nights. God bless. Speaking of which,
Which I
Sean,
should be at next week. I'm
I
very
was gonna say
excited.
Sean's going for his anniversary in October, and his wife blames me for going to Disney and all the Halloween stuff, and that's why they're going. I'm like,
I'm excited for Horror Nights. I haven't done Horror Nights
influencing.
properly in a while.
2015 was the one and only time I did Horror Nights, so I would love to get back. But maybe next year we'll go for Christmas time, and then we can meet up.
Universal's fun at Christmas time. They do the Grinchmas and everything.
Do it
And they do
all.
a show on the castle.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh. Or
But
not on the I'm not being stupid. On the Hogwarts castle. They
oh
do a Christmas
yeah,
thingy.
Harry
They
Potter
do
to me is
at
always
Halloween time.
okay. I was gonna say
They have
Halloween slash
Dementors or
Christmas.
whatever.
Yeah. See, Harry Potter to
Yeah.
me is like a Halloween slash Christmas. I watch Harry Potter in between the Halloween to Christmas time period because it can fit in both. And so once November 1st rolls around, I love to be like, you know what, let's watch some Harry Potter. And then I don't know. I just do. This is how I roll.
All right. So he said Universal's opening a new land named Epoch. He wasn't misspelling it. Yeah, it's the Nintendo
thing.
theme
Yeah,
thing.
out
Yeah,
there.
we've
Yes.
talked about that. Yeah.
That's right.
Do they have
Okay.
a date yet for that? I know they already have like
Um,
merch or whatever at
I think they
Universal.
do. I just don't know off the top
I
of my
don't know.
head.
We'll have
And
to look into that.
we'll look into it for when we mess up next week. So, how about let's switch gears
Yeah.
back to October 7th. Marvel Studios will be releasing Werewolf by Night, and it will premiere on Disney Plus. This is like 50s
I
horror themed.
straight up
Yeah.
thought this was a joke at first.
It's so the trailer looks sick. And did you catch at the end of the trailer? Werewolf was destroying TVA agents.
No, I didn't. Is Moon Knight
Yes.
going to show up and kill all
I
the werewolves?
don't know, but if this is the perfect chance to introduce Blade. Like, because Blade's
Oh,
going to get a
yeah,
show
that's
next
probably.
year. Like, what if you introduce Blade and it's black and white, 50s old school horror themed? Oh my God, sign me up. This is so
Like
cool.
Universal.
Yeah, this is this. Marvel may not be sticking the landing on everything. I know a lot of people they're just kind of cranking stuff out. But
I've
there's
loved all
something
of it.
for everybody right now. And I am so excited for Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, it's. I really though thought it was a joke when I first watched the trailer because the zombie thing's like shaking and he goes, "I'm rotting for you."
We
I'm
get
like,
Man
what is
Thing.
this?
And we get freaking Man Thing. That's sick.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm
I
gushing.
think that's what's been so amazing about the MCU though is all these different genres now. I know a lot of people have an issue with She-Hulk being like a comedy
She's a
sitcom, but that's
woman.
what's
How
so
dare she?
great.
Right.
But that's what's so much fun about all of it. They can all be so different and touch on
It's
so many different aspects and
there's
still
something
connect.
for everybody out there. Whether you're a
But
young kid, I don't know. And I don't I digress.
Disney Plus is also releasing for anybody who hasn't memorized all of Nightmare Before Christmas. They're doing releasing this sing along on September 30th
Nope.
with
You know what
Hocus
I'm gonna be
Pocus
doing
2. Of
September
course,
30th?
I'm going to be flying to Mexico
Well,
and not
Hocus
watching Hocus Pocus
Pocus.
2.
What? Oh, watch on the plane, you fool.
I want to watch it in my living room with pumpkin candles and
Oh, we're
pumpkins
decorating for
and bats
Halloween
on the
this weekend.
wall.
I ain't freaking bats. I'm so excited. We're decorating this weekend for Halloween. Uh,
I have
Sign me up,
back-to-back
number one.
children birthday parties.
Number two, I really want to. That hat I have from Disneyland for the Halloween theme. I really want to get that
Yes.
ghost tattooed, just because it's so freaking cute. So I think I'm gonna
With
add
the
that to
ears.
my. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add that to my sleeve on my arm, just like because I have space to fill in between Sasquatch and stuff. So I think I'm gonna fill that in with that, with the little ghost.
It is pretty cute. I've seen a lot of people wearing it around
It's
Disney
cute.
lately.
Okay, when you go and there's 30% off, and if they still have those jerseys, let me know because I honestly will probably pay you to grab one for me.
I will be at Hollywood Studios tomorrow. All right. October 14th, Into the Woods sing along is coming to Disney Plus, and October
Ah,
31st.
didn't care
I'm
for
not a
that
big
movie.
Dancing with the Stars fan, but I
Not at
do
all.
love dancing. So when the stuff goes viral, I tend to watch it, and they're
That's
doing a
fair.
Halloween themed one.
Okay.
So I mean, if they do a dance to Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm gonna have to YouTube that.
Trick or Treat. Is this the horror,
Witcher.
the spooky movie?
Yes, I was gonna do that one
Oh,
last.
that's
Witcher
cool.
season 3 has wrapped filming, and yes, do you want to take that trick or treat news?
Yeah, so 2007's Trick or Treat will be coming to the big screen September 30th. It has like a couple. If you've seen like the little kid in the orange jumpsuit and the burlap sack head, that's Trick or Treat. It's really big at Spirit of Halloween this year, and so it's be coming to the big screen
Ah,
September 30th. And it came out December of 2007. Never came out in theaters, and it had a lot of really well known actors and actresses, and it was actually really good. I highly recommend checking it out. I believe it's on Shutter, but worst case, I know it's on like Amazon Prime or something. Definitely worth the adding into your rotation around Halloween time for sure.
so I think that one was actually it might have been recommended to me either by Sean or Kevin. Somebody who we talk to somewhat
Yeah,
regularly recommended I watch that movie last year. But yeah, it's got Rogue from X-Men. It's got William Stryker from X-Men. It's got, I mean, so many people you would recognize. It's we were talking about it the other. If you watch Supernatural, it's got Gadriel in it.
yeah,
Um, there was thought there was more people too. Didn't have the blonde girl. Yeah, Leslie Bibb. She was in Iron Man. That's what we were talking about that the other day when we did our rewatch. And it's all these random Halloween stories that like connect, but they're Halloween horror stories.
it's great. Yeah, I know
Very
it's
festive.
very cool. I like it a lot. So check it out. Do you want to? Let's give our quick little Andor pre notes. I know this is running a little long, typically go about an hour. However, we had a lot of news, and Andor comes out September 21st with 3 episodes. So, the Andor series is going to explore a new perspective from the Star Wars galaxy. It focuses on Cassian Andor, who we first met in Rogue One, played by Diego Luna, and it's his journey to discover the difference that he can make within the rebellion. The series brings forward the tale of a burgeoning rebellion against the Empire and how the people and planets have become involved. It's an era filled with danger, deception, and intrigue where Cassian will embark on the path that is destined to turn him into a rebel hero. Like I said, Diego Luna plays Cassian Andor. We have Stellan Skarsgård playing in there. We have Mon Mothma's making an appearance. Mon Mothma, excuse me. And then we even have Forrest Whitaker showing up as Saw Gerrera. So it's been described as like a spy thriller, HBO drama kind of series. It's going to be very different, but it looks very cinematic, and I'm really excited for it. So, Lauren, why don't you take us away?
So where did you stop off? I was reading chats.
12
Tim just chimed in on
episodes.
the YouTube. Okay, so 12 episodes starting Wednesday, September 21st. We're getting the first 3 episodes this Wednesday,
Three
and so
plus.
that will run until November 23rd. There is a 10-minute video on Disney Plus that they released on Disney Plus Day. Um, I felt like Disney Disney Plus Day was in November, and now all of a sudden it's in September. I
I
guess
can't
it's
keep
just
track.
D23
I'm
Disney
gonna be
Plus Day.
honest.
I don't
I
know.
can't keep track of
So
these
that 10-minute
days.
video gives you some background, and it shows a really cool scene with Andor and Dr. Selvig, whose name I don't remember what it is in Star Wars or his real name.
Stellan
So
Skarsgård,
this is a
and he
prequel for Rogue
plays
One, which we said.
Luthen Rael.
There you go.
I write about
So
this,
in Rogue One,
folks.
Cassian Andor
Shameless plug.
mentions that he has been in this war since he was 6 years old, which was during the Clone Wars. And so this is his story of how he has been in it since he was
This is
6
a
years
story
old.
all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. No, wrong universe.
Yeah, I was waiting for more.
I had nothing else. I had nothing.
How'd he become sitting on that beach? Like,
I went out. Yeah, like, how do you become a rebel spy? I don't know.
I think you're onto something there. I want some more. You need to hit up Chris from GEEK.
The
He
Fresh
was
Prince
doing this with Lord of the Rings.
Cassian Andor, or whatever.
All right. So we get okay. So it primarily takes place 5 years before Rogue One. I know you were mentioning before it's not all in one time period, so it is spread out. So it should coincide with the Rebels. And why I say that is because we got quite a few Rebels Easter eggs in Rogue One, and it would be really cool to get more obvious not
we're gonna
Easter
get
eggs
Hera
in Andor.
Syndulla. I have a feeling we're getting Hera Syndulla appearing in this show, whether it's season 1 or 2. I have a
She was one of the Easter eggs.
Well, she was
So
also
Chopper
one of the.
is in a scene. Yeah, we need Chopper. So the Ghost makes a cameo in Rogue One. Someone says Carabast, which I think I can only think of hearing that in Rebels. And Hera is called on the loudspeaker as General Syndulla, which means she got a raise.
Well, she kind of helped start the rebellion too.
Or promotion.
Yeah.
Saw Gerrera, who a lot of people met for the first time in Rogue One, was introduced in Clone Wars. He was trained by Ahsoka and Anakin. Saw lost his sister, and that's when he went savage, which we saw in Rebels, where he was willing to beat the Empire no matter the cost, no matter who had to die. And then we saw him die in Rogue One, so we are going to get more of him.
Well, his story is interesting because he's kind of like not really a domestic terrorist, but he's like a guerrilla war fighter. I mean, he's been fighting this since the Clone Wars days. Up through
honestly though, he's like Magneto in that, like, he's willing to do whatever he needs to, and he doesn't care if the pawns die, because in the grand scheme of things, he's doing what is right.
One loss of life for the greater good, basically. And when you're in a war against somebody like the Empire, it's hard to disagree with his thought process, especially after he lost his sister during the Clone Wars, which you see in the Clone Wars series or Rebels. Which one is it?
But in fictional stories, that's always what differentiates the good guy from the bad guy, is that the bad guy is willing to kill one person because it's going to save 10, whereas the good guy won't even kill one person. Although we still consider Punisher a good guy.
No guns. Alfred.
But then, Iron Man kills people.
Look, Captain America kills people. Everybody, all the Avengers, they don't care. They kill everybody, but Batman's over here still crying over. I love how when
how many people do you think have died of like brain hemorrhages after they got knocked out by one of these people? Batman, and they thought, I just knocked him unconscious.
One punch to the temple knocks him out, and then he's like, he's fine, but he's in a wheelchair the rest of his life.
Right. I didn't kill him, but I'm paying for his nurse that he needs.
He's just in a wheelchair forever in a feeding tube.
So another character we're going to be getting back, which I feel like you will probably be better at this. I did copy and paste something from Wikipedia, because she comes in and out quite a bit as well. She's even in episode 3. Yes, so she's voiced and acted by the same person, which I think that's really cool.
That's so cool. And then she looks stunning in all the stuff that we've seen of her. She's straight from the get-go, down since day 1. She has been with the rebellion, never been. So it's really cool. I hope we kind of see, like, in this, we're going to get to kind of see, like, why she feels the way she does and why she is sided with the rebellion. Which brings me to my point. She was done dirty in the end, because in The Force Awakens, they just blow her up in her planet. Like, you see her, because she becomes like the president, the new ruler of the galaxy, so to speak. They blow that whole planet up, Hosnian Prime. So she just goes out in the sequel. That, again, they do her dirty, but this isn't to talk about the sequels. That's neither here nor there. So She actually sanctioned the recruitment of Jyn Erso, who led the Rogue One squadron in stealing the Death Star plans from her dad. She didn't really steal them. He more gave them. Whatever. Oh no, she steals them during the Battle of Scarif. Rogue One, phenomenal movie. One of the best standalone Star Wars film ever made, in my opinion. So, Mon Mothma is a native of Chandrila, which, if you played Rogue Squadron on the N64, Chandrila is a really fun map you get to play. So that's a really cool callback. Anyway, she's a female human who served as an important political figure from the waning days of the Galactic Republic, one of the founders of the Alliance to restore the Republic, and the first chief of state of the New Republic. Again, she's done so dirty. When the foundation of the Galactic Empire replaced the Republic, that had existed for many millennia, she met with her allies in the Senate, such as Senators Padme Amidala and Bail Organa. In the year 2, Battle Before Yavin, she signed the Corellian Treaty along with Bail, Garm Bel Ibis, Ram Koda, and Galen Merrick in order to form the alliance to restore the Republic. She, along with the others, were taken captive aboard the Death Star, the first one. Although they were rescued, she played a very, very important role in the ensuing Galactic Civil War, and after the decisive rebel victory at the Battle of Andor, she became the first chief of state of the newly found New Republic. She also had a daughter called Leota and a son, Jobin. Later, Jobin. What? Are you going to see me then? Or are you going to see me another time? I love you, man. Anybody? Anyways, in the year 24 AB, yeah, Jobin, you don't
I
remember
haven't
that?
seen that movie in a long
Oh my
time.
God, it's one of my favorites of comedies of all time where
That's
he's
one
like,
of
later,
Josh's favorites.
Jobin.
I
Anyways,
did not remember that.
in the year 24 ABY, she passed away peacefully on Chandrila. I thought she got blown up in Force Awakens. I thought she was one of the ones that appeared on the balcony when the First Order used Starkiller Base. I could be. I'm probably wrong.
Here, I'll
But
look it up. This was straight from Wikipedia.
okay.
So
Well, hey, if
I will-
Wikipedia and the homies over at Wikipedia said it's true, then it's true. I trust them. I'm in their Discord. They're great people. We even had one of their social media people on. So it's true.
I
Then.
Googled how did Mon Mothma die, and it says sleep.
Okay. Well, hey, if we could all be so blessed.
The new essential
Sleep.
chronology published in 2005 established that Montha passed away in her sleep in the year 24 ABY.
Oh, okay. For some reason, okay, I guess it was just a bunch of nobodies on Hosnian Prime. So, all right. Little did I know. I guess I was talking all that shit. So, yeah, that's kind of all I have kind of to get you ready for the Andor premiere. Again, 3-episode premiere Thursday, September 21st on Disney Plus. Or no, it's Wednesday, September 21st. I'm sorry. I got my days mixed up. Thursday is when we go to FanXSaltLake Comic-Con to run some press. And,
That is correct.
Yeah.
I'm
So
still
Lauren,
looking at more stories.
okay. Well,
If there's anything on Mon Mothma, I have an article here. I will research it before our next episode to confirm nor deny, because there are some things that are not canon, and sometimes the canon with Star Wars gets changed a little bit.
All the time.
So that is what is on Wikipedia right now. So it's most likely accurate, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there too, especially because, well, and Marvel releases things more in chronological order, whereas Star Wars is really like, good luck to you. Like even when Mando came out, people are like, oh, well, it's got to be this because based on the currency, it's like cheese and rice.
Yeah. Star Wars fans,
but there was a
wild.
scene. There was a post-credit card, you know how they do the drawings at the end of She-Hulk scene that made me think, is She-Hulk supposed to be later? But that's all I can say because you haven't even seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. No, I don't know. Which is interesting because Don Shields said that Armor Wars is going to begin filming next year, and it takes place right after Secret Invasion. So timelines are weird. Timelines are weird right now in the Marvel universe. I don't know where we're at. I honestly don't.
I don't think, I mean, they've given us hints. Like, obviously, this is after Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
So we know that. But yeah, they really have not been completely clear. And this,
I guess everything's kind of happening simultaneously, maybe?
I guess we'll have to talk about it later since you haven't seen this scene. We can't even just give spoiler warnings and go with it.
I guess we will. So, all right, folks.
All your fault.
There may or may not be a new episode next week. However, I want you to make sure you're paying attention to Hops Geek News, all of our social media accounts. You can find them at Hops Geek News, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of the good stuff.
Instagram and YouTube.
and YouTube, because Lauren and I are getting together Thursday. We are running the press circuit. So we have some really, I can't even say guests yet. However, there are guests to the Comic-Con in Salt Lake City, the third biggest one in North America. Vincent D'Onofrio, Mark Shepard, Kevin Smith, the entire Jay Muse, the entire cast of Clerks 3 are going to be there. I can't pronounce her name, but America Chavez will be there. William Zabka and the cast of Cobra Kai, they are going to be there as well.
Felicia Day
Felicia Day is going to be there.
The King of Hell, and they're doing a Supernatural panel.
They are, and also they're doing a Disney trivia, which Lauren and I are going to go, and we're going to fucking dominate, and we're going to beat them all in.
Is it Disney or is it Disney Parks? I almost prefer it be Disney Parks because less people will know that.
But we missed out, so we could have submitted and ran a panel, which could have been Disney Parks. I didn't know this back in the spring when they were opening submissions. Next year, I will make sure to pay attention. So there's that. And if there is a next year, who knows? I'll be moving about that time. So who knows what's going to happen. But we'll see. That said,
let's do one at MegaCon.
Seriously, follow us. Follow us. Catch all this good stuff. We should be talking to some really great people, seeing some great people, hanging out, drinking beers, having a good time. And until next week,
drinking beers.
Beers. We got the beers. We got the beer. Who got the beers? We got the beers.
Drinking beers, smoking blunts. We probably won't be smoking blunts.
No, not smoking. Especially,
I would just go to sleep.
Actually, who knows? Are we going to be drinking beers? Utah's laws are so crazy. God, they might come after us. They might send them.
You're bringing beers. We're going to have a hotel lobby party.
Yes, we'll have. There are going to be
after the con is the hotel lobby. Yes. I feel like I'm going to be the old bitch at the party.
Well, I mean, we both will be. It's probably
so from Knocked Up. Am I too old to be here?
This is 40. Is that the movie we're on now?
Oh, it's Knocked Up.
Oh,
and just she's like, am I as hot as these bitches?
That's true. Anyways, follow us. Make sure you spread the good word. Make sure everybody follows us as well. And I can't say that enough. So we will see.
And we do still have lots of beer news. Dogfish Miami is closing November 5th. And that's all the beer news I'll give you right now.
To talk strictly beer news. Who knows? I'll let you know. Maybe we'll get back to our normal Hops News formats. I don't know. But maybe if you like Geeks being live as an option and then also listening back to us, by all means, drop us a line. I've had a couple people tell us that they really like the live format as well for Geeks. So if that's something you like,
it's fun when people can be interactive live.
Yeah, I like interacting. It's fun. It makes the world go round. So we will see you guys next week. Until then, cheers. Good beers and comic books, folks. Peace.